Hi, I'm Ryder, and welcome back to the Ryder Kane YouTube channel. Today, we're bow hunting in Canada for giant black bears and some incredible color phase bears. And yes, you're seeing that right. There's an actual bear in the back of the truck. You can't script moments like this. We've got way more action than we can pack into a single episode, and trust me, you do not want to miss a second of it. If you're into real, unfiltered hunting adventures, hit that subscribe button and help us push toward our first 1,000 subscribers so we can keep bringing you more raw outdoor action. What I love most about hunting new places is stepping into the unknown, and that feeling is hitting hard right now. I've chased bears in plenty of spots over the years, but I've never set foot in a place that's this absolutely loaded with bear activity. We're deep in Alberta at Bear Camp, literally in the middle of nowhere, and it took 3 different planes just to reach it. The adventure starts the second you arrive. I'm out here with Mark from Hunting Creek Outfitters, and let me tell you, finding this place didn't happen overnight. I spent months digging for the best spot in Canada for high color phase odds and non-stop bear action. Eventually, I came across Mark. After a long stretch of calls, planning, and back and forth, we locked in the hunt. Now we're finally here, standing right in the middle of everything I'd hoped for. Inside camp, we've been checking out some of the bears taken from this very region. Massive black bears and some jaw-dropping color phase mounts. Mark has been hunting and baiting bears for over 25 years, and he goes all in. He literally hauls in pallets of candy, hundreds of pounds at a time, every couple of days to pull bears away from farmers' fields and protect local beehives. Even with electric fences everywhere, when you've got this many bears competing for food, the damage can get out of control fast. While checking the bait sites, we spotted the first bears of the trip, a sow with 3 cubs, one of them still clinging to a tree trunk. It was an incredible sight and the perfect way to kick off the hunt. Of course, we don't take sows or anything traveling with cubs. Our focus is on mature boars, the top-end predators that will often kill cubs to push a sow back into heat. It's harsh, but it's how nature works, and it's a big part of why managing big boar numbers is so important. At the bait, we stacked logs around the backside to keep the bears from slipping in behind us. The goal is to guide them to the front, where we can take a clean, ethical shot. And just when we thought the day couldn't get any crazier, we ended up with yet another bear riding in the back of the truck. I swear you couldn't script moments like these if you tried. That evening, my wife and I settled into the stand, and everything felt dialed in. Conditions were perfect. The first bear to show up was a stunning blonde phase bear, light coat, high-set ears, just a beautiful animal. We figured he was a younger boar, so we let him walk. Honestly, my biggest concern at that moment was whether he was going to chew on my GoPro. Over at one of our other setups, things were a whole lot wilder. The bears had dragged off the bait barrel and tore the camera straight off the tree. Mark told us there were at least 5 solid shooter boars working that area. So we tucked a ground blind under a cedar tree, brushed it in tight, and set it just 13 yards from the shooting lane, close enough to feel the adrenaline before the bears even appeared. As we sat in the blind, I suddenly heard movement off to my right. When I turned, a huge black boar was standing just 5 yards away, close enough to hear him breathing. He knew something was off and melted back into the brush before I could draw. About 20 minutes later, another bear eased in. He wasn't quite as big as the first, but he was still an absolute tank. After watching him for a moment, I knew he was the one. The next morning, we went back to track him. He'd been bleeding heavily, leaving a clear, steady trail straight down the hill. It didn't take long before we found him. He made it maybe 70 to 90 yards before going down. The shot hit a little farther back than I wanted, but it clipped a rib, redirected forward, and did exactly what it needed to do. My Grim Reaper inch and 3/4 razor tip broadhead tore through him like nothing. This is exactly why I trust that setup on big-bodied animals like this. Huge shout out to Mark and Brent over at Hunting Creek Outfitters here in Alberta. These guys grind behind the scenes harder than anyone realizes, and they take incredible care of their hunters, whether you're chasing giant bears or fighting off a sinus infection. Great people, an awesome camp, and honestly one of the best hunting experiences I've had. And check out the size of this bear's head. Just absolute mess. This was my first bear with a bow, and it's hands down the biggest bear I've ever taken. Alberta, Canada. This place is an absolute dream. At the end of the day, hunts like this are about more than trophies. They're about respecting the animals, understanding the wild places they live in, and doing our part to manage wildlife the right way. Ethical hunting keeps ecosystems healthy, protects local farms, and gives future generations the same opportunities we enjoy today. If you appreciate real, fair chase adventure and want to keep learning what responsible hunting truly looks like, make sure you stick with this channel. Drop a comment, hit that like button, and check out the next videos coming up. We've got more unbelievable encounters, more big bears, and plenty more action from the Canadian wilderness. I'll see you on the next hunt.